never did I think that I would be someone who was like into clothes and stuff, especially considering like where I come from, like a really conservative home. And so like it was weird, like feeling some way inside of like who I thought myself to be, and then having to conform to like what my family standards were, and then meeting someone like Linda who just kind of like, I don't know, was always so like uniquely herself and like just express herself however she wanted to. I think I learned a lot through that.
It takes a drive to be creative some days, but when I do, I'm down here with that sewing machine and I'm yelling at it. But it's what helped me build a lot of my projects. My mom, actually, she's like a hoarder of clothes, and she like loves fashion. She loves dressing up. When she was a kid, that she was never able to dress up, and how like back in her day, like she would have jeans that she would patch up because they were so holy, and then she would like bring me thrifting all the time because it was like the only way to get clothes for cheap before it was cool. And then she would find like the most like sickest clothes, and I'm like, whoa. And that's when I buy sick clothes now too.
I remember like growing up, like we would go thrifting. I come from a first generation family. Like we came here from Guatemala. She came here, my mom came here with literally nothing, like a couple $100s, and then with her 3 kids. And so we didn't really have the money. So, you know, we would go thrifting and people would laugh at us. Or like, you know, like it, like thrifting wasn't cool. Like it was just like, yeah, like, oh my God, you get used clothes. And you know, like it was weird, but then like now there's a whole culture around it. Okay, one thing I will say, it was mad interesting because the universe works in funny ways, okay? I feel like it just be conspiring. But like I remember during the pandemic where we had nothing else to do, like we did so many things, we had so many photo shoots, so many like ideas, our like brains were just going, you know, like I don't know, I feel like everyone has like a little like thing in their heart and in their soul that they like are chasing.
This here is a bed sheet. This was an old jacket and a tent. Good. It feels good. I feel like I get a lot more enjoyment like making these than like buying something online. Chris, the impact it has on others and the environment and how like wasteful it is. I think I just feel bad about sweatshops, how people get corrupted and taken advantage of, and then how much even afterwards it goes in as waste.
These clothes are like hella easily accessible to you at a cheap price, and they look good, right? And you're just like, oh my God, I want to grab this, but you don't know like the story behind it of what it took, of like this family in like fucking a third world country, who was literally getting paid like pennies. We have to stop being like that's a problem for a different generation. Like we're seeing the side effects and the backlashes of neglecting it for so long, and we see where we're headed and no one's doing anything about it, you know? Like I think as a culture we've adopted this idea that like we run through our clothes really fast. Before, like people wore their clothes to shreds.
The trend cycle?
Yeah, trend cycle.
Terrible.
Like follow your own damn trend. You know, like
like it's not you, it's the clothes. So the end goal is to like, this is just a clothes, and you buy bigger and then like tailor it to you.
So we've been like tossing around this idea of like a brand that we call Contraband.
A sustainability line. So like it's like all the way sustainable down to like the thread. In my dream world, like a factory with like really good, well-paying workers, materials that are sourced from like thrift stores, and beautiful.
I would just like, well, because I told you like I came from a really conservative family who like, and I feel like I wasn't really able to express myself the way that I wanted to. But then like when I was put in a position that like I didn't have to like cater to them anymore, realizing that like men's clothing kind of sucks. I would want to expand men's fashion to make men feel more comfortable to be able to wear and express themselves more freely, because I don't think as a culture we allow that to happen. while still being sustainable?
Start sewing. I feel like if there's anything, there's always like fabric.